Freak Nation, he's back as a champion for the fourth time over, but a newly crowned champion as a team owner. Antron Brown, Top Fuel Champion for 2024. And, oh, my gosh, Antron, we need about 30 minutes to just – let's go over one question, but we won't do that to you. Bro, you go into the finals on Sunday at Pomona as the 12th seed. I could listen to you all day talk about we weren't going to let up. We went in there fighting. There had to be a doubt. One time, Antron, coming in as a 12 seed, they're like, nah, I can't win this damn championship.
Kenny, the thing about it is that out of all the years that you guys and gals have known me, when have you ever seen me think I don't have a chance? When I go into races, I've won the U.S. Nationals qualifying 15th. It's just qualifying is qualifying, but that sets the stage of where you're at. But if you miss a run here or there, and you got to remember Pomona, we only had 2 rounds of qualifying. So the thing about it is when we went in the first round, I knew that we had our work cut out for us. But if you want to win a championship, that was like pretty much the only way it can get done. Like if you let Justin Ashley get past first round, Mike Green just gets warmed up. Tommy DeLago and that Sky team get warmed up. They get better, and better. So, and they threw out a great run the first lap because we ran the middle of the day after we had that freak accident with the plane crash. The track got hotter. You want to make sure you go down. So when we came in, we knew that we had to run somewhere between a 68 and 70, and that's what we were shooting for the temperature that was on the track. And if you did that, you ran quick enough to get the job done, but then it came down to who can leave on time, who can keep it in the groove. And my guys gave me 100th in the tank, and we grabbed a couple thou in reaction time, and it parlayed for us to get across that finish line about 6 or 7 feet ahead of them. And man, when we get that wind light came on, that was like, hey, now we have a chance. And that was the whole thing. If you want to win a championship, you got to go through the person that's in the lead for the championship. And that was what we had to cut out for us, and we couldn't line it up any better because if you saw them later, it could just be too late.
Antron, we've asked a number of stock car drivers, IndyCar Series drivers, sprint car drivers about racing from the top spot or chasing that number 1 spot. And you being at the 12 spot in a drag race, trying to get that number 1 spot, that championship, would you rather go into the finals on a Sunday as the number 1 or maybe a lower tiered seed in drag racing?
Man, it's so hard right now, Kane, to answer that question. Honestly, I can tell you in our drag racing deal, you go on number 1 seed, you got some bonus points, of course, so that adds up. But besides that, I mean, as you've seen it, our class is so tight from the beginning to the end. We have races where is separated like number 1 to number 14 or number 12 is separated by like less than 400ths of a second. So I don't think it makes a difference. I think what does make a difference is that definitely being the top half the field is more beneficial because if the track is so you can pick your lane. But besides that, it's anybody's game, and you just got to make sure you throw out the best shot and race. And that's one thing I'm really confident in our team in doing. Doesn't really make a difference where we get our seat at. I know that we can race. You know what I mean? Because racing means you got to make the vehicle go down the track. It's like just like NASCAR. They don't run what they qualify. They run what they can race. You get what I mean? And that's the same thing in NHRA drag racing. Like you didn't see too many people go hit it out the park. Like Doug Kalitta hit 1 run out the park during eliminations. We went a 64 flat. Nobody else even came. Like Clay Milken ran a 65 first round. But besides that, the rest of the races were decided between like a 67 to a 71. That's where everybody fell at. Everybody wants to make sure they go down the track and not throw it away. And we almost did second round because we got greedy with it. And so did Shawn Langdon. They whooped him on the step of the throttle. And we got out there and it shook a little bit more because we're going after it, trying to run a mid 60 because that's what we thought we needed to win. And it brought us back to reality and say, just run. We got to race the racetrack. Let's go out here. We get beat run to 68 or 67. We get beat. And let them make the mistake or let them be triumphant. And when we did that after the second round, it got us to the final where we end up winning the race.
Antron, before we get to crash and stat, we have a special correspondent that would like to ask you a question.
Hey, Antron. This is Henley. I was just wondering, in the first round, when you were going up against Justin Ashley, how did you feel going against your Lucas Oil driver and the first person in points?
Yeah, Henley, that is a great question. And oh my gosh, she's a star in the making. She has all the tools. You see that? If you want to be a good reporter, you want to be a good interviewer, the kid's got it. That's it. I'm gonna call her Henley the Ham Bone. That's what she is.
New t-shirt line coming out.
Yes. She's got the ham. She's got it all on the bone, baby. It's like Thanksgiving right there. It's like Thanksgiving. And I tell you what, Henley, to answer your question is when we came up against Justin Ashley, my Lucas Oil teammate and Toyota teammate, we came up there. We knew we had nothing to lose, and all we had was to gain. And I'm pretty sure Justin felt the same way. But when you're number one in points, it puts a different mind perspective on you because we've been there before where you feel like all you have is to lose because you're already there. And for the ones behind you like us, Shawn Langdon, Doug Kalitta, and people of that statute, we feel is that all we have is to gain. So we have nothing to lose. And when I raced them, I went in there with that mindset of going, let's go up here. This you know what? He's got the lunch. He's got the lunch bag right now, and I have not eaten for the last week. So if I want to eat, I need to take that bag from him. And that's the way our team went up there. We went up there hungry because all we had was to gain, and that was to gain the food that we starved. And that's what we did. We went up there and gave it all we got, and fortunately, it fell our way. And that's all you can do, and that's the kind of mindset you have to go into those type of situations with. That you have everything to gain. But when you go in there with something to lose, those situations tend to happen, you know what I mean, where you lay up, you don't run as well, or maybe they weren't trying to run a 70 flat. Maybe they tried to run a 68 and the car just didn't perform the way they liked it because things like that happen sometimes, you know. And we ran right around what we wanted to run. We ran like a little tick slow. We wanted to run a 68, and we ended up running a 69. So with that being said, you know, we just got there first and did a little bit better job, and it was enough to get it done.
Antron Brown, 4-time Top Fuel NHRA champion, joining us here in the SpeedFreaks pits. But wasn't that your first or maybe second six of the entire countdown? So something in Pomona finally clicked for you guys.
Yeah, Crash did. We had the conditions because we couldn't. We were trying to do that in Vegas, and we're having issues. And the main thing of it is we just had to get our bell housing right. I mean, Brian will tell you, everybody on the team will tell you, that's what's been our Achilles heel once the track got really, really good. And Vegas gave us a really good track to run strong, and so did Pomona. And we started stumbling, but in the beginning when the tracks were hot, our bell housing, our package was fine where we're running, racing, and we could outrun people and do everything we needed to do. But once it got tight like that, we have to figure out a better combination to come out and run like we want to run, and that's to run those low 60s like everybody else was doing. So when we came there to Pomona, like the first run we ran a 72, we had a mechanical issue. We didn't try to run a 72. We were trying to run a 68, and our car was on a 68 run. It went 210 to the 330. It went 838, 210 like all the other deals, and our cars fell off before the 330 because our manifold actually came loose on our car. And we lost some blower boost. And when we did that, it made our car just go really slow where we only went 289 mile an hour at half track, and we only ran 318 mile an hour out the back door. We were probably missing about 800 to 1,000 horsepower with the amount of blower boost that we lost. And then we fixed it, and then we came back for the second run, and we were just over-centered with power because everything worked like it should too, and we just overpowered the racetrack where the car was trying to haul the mail too fast. So that's what happened to us in qualifying, and then we just backed her down a little bit, and that's what we ended up doing that first 60 run in elimination day. You got to remember, we only had 2 qualifying runs, so we didn't get the 4 shakes at it like we should have got where we could actually been in a better qualifying position. And if that happened, I might not be on the show with you right now, or I could have been. You just don't know.
Antron, I'm just listening to you talk numbers, statistics, weather, and then needing to process your coming in the whole weekend second in points, needing to get that championship, and then needing to run through murderer's row of drivers, the best in the business to get there. Looking back now, it's almost crazy how you were able to compartmentalize every aspect of your job on the weekend, come out as the title winner. How did you do this? Really?
Hey, Crash, all I can tell you is that one thing I think a lot of people forget is that it was a 5-year stint, over 5 years, literally 7-year stint, that I was on the team at DSR with the same group of guys, the same head guys, Brian Karate, Mark Oswald, and Brad Mason, who we had we were like literally dominating the class for a while, like winning a lot of races. The championships didn't show for it. We won 3, but if we did the points to old structure, we'd be 5 or 6 time world champions right now. You know what I mean? So with that being said, is that I look back at that and I think what happens is that everybody always looks at the previous year or everybody looks at the now, but they don't realize the DNA that we have here at AB Motorsports. We have a lot of people that are like super duper all-star A-listers on this team. And the thing about it is the class is really, really tough. And a lot of people have performance, but when it comes racing pound for pound, that we can race with anybody out there. And I think that's what a lot of people fail to realize. They look at ETs and numbers, but ET and numbers just don't run races. It's the complete package. Leaving on time and who can do it consistently all the time. And that's one thing that our team really, really does. And I'm super proud to be on this team.
Wow. Antron Brown, Crash kind of hinted at it. We've talked a lot of numbers, 4 championships, 80 race wins, 851 round wins.
Whoa.
But I want to throw some legendary names at you that you've passed. You've passed Darren Gollards, who had 3 championships, Shirley Muldowney, who had 3, Larry Dixon, who had 3, Angel in Pro Stock Motorcycles, she had 3, Selzy had 3 before he went to Funny Car. These are legendary Hall of Fame kind of names, and you passed them. You now have 4. You're looking at with Steve Torrence. You got Joe Amato right ahead of you. What's next, dude?
Stat man, is that I'm feeling really, really good in the place that I am. Man, I just keep driving, man. I don't look at the accolades I've done.
No, I'm not going to let you get away.
Oh, hell.
I don't look at, I don't, this is the thing. You see that thing behind me? It's nice right now. Okay. You see that? Brother likes gold. You know that stat. Look at you, man. Your eyes lit up when you saw that gold. Look at you. Look at you. Look at my eyes. Right. But the thing is that these things are nice because what happens is they're mementos to remind you of all the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears that the team, us, went through on every weekend throughout the year of 2024. And I do see them. Like when I see them, I see the championship trophies. When I do see a trophy, I think about what we went through in that race weekend and how we got there. I could tell you all the different things like that. And those are the reminders for me. But that's great. But the thing about it is that I feel like there's so much more to accomplish. I always think about, all right, we did this. We're already back in the shop. I was in the shop yesterday, and the guys are going over about, all right, well, this ain't going to happen to us next year. We're thinking about our shortfalls this year. We're thinking about how we didn't run well in this type of condition. We didn't do this. We didn't run the big mile an hour. We didn't drop low ET. We didn't qualify number 1 here or there. Like we want that. We want the performance to go with everything else. And then we're looking at the first rounds that we lost this year. We lost 8 of them this year out of 20 races. Wow. Okay. But then we have 6 wins. So we went every final we went to, we won. So what that tells us, once we get past first round, those things happen. You know what I mean? We have no runner-ups. We have like 4 or 5 semifinals, and we have like 4 whatever second rounds or something like that. And it shows, but now we're saying, what do we do to get better? And our deals, we know we need to be harder on the performance. So when I'm focused like that, it's hard for me to slow down to think about what I have done, because I'm still in the trenches right now. Is what I'm saying.
So let me ask you maybe the most important question that maybe you addressed at that team meeting. Mark Oswald has been an important part of AB Motorsports, even when you were with Schumacher. Mark Oswald was there. He's been a part of all 4 championships, and he's leaving. At least he was leaving after Pomona. I don't know if he's just changed his mind with the celebrations this past year. How are you going to replace his knowledge, his brain, his input to the team?
Well, Stat Man, you can't replace Mark. There's no replacement. But what Mark has left here is he has planted so many seeds in the guys that are around us, like Brad Mason, Chris Watson, Brian Karate, who's always been at the helm. And what happens is it's time for those guys to blossom and to step up. And the thing about it is Mark is still a phone call away, and we want him to enjoy himself. He goes, AB, he goes, I raced for so many years. It's time for me just to do what Mark wants to do. And I completely understand that, and I try to talk to him till I was blowing my face. Said, Mark, you can still come out. Nah, AB, I know what you're trying to do. I said, well, Mark, maybe you just come out to like half the races. Maybe come out to 4 of the races. You know what I mean? He goes, well, I'll still make some parts and stuff for you guys, whatever you need. And you need some consultant. I'm a phone call away. So I guarantee you we'll have him on FaceTime at the races throughout this next year. But the thing about it is that Mark has done a great job of cultivating the people here at AB Motorsports to get to the level where they need to be to do the job they need to do. So I'm really excited for Brad to get his chance, finally get another chance to step up and get back in the helm and to do it with Brian. And then Chris Watson to step up and take over Brad's position with the crew guys being like the team manager and doing all the things with the guys on the team and making sure they keep all their checks and balances. And then our crew guys to step up in their positions too. And I think that's where we're going to prosper now, because we have some young prodigies that can actually have some more input and share their ideas and go off the things that they learn and progress us forward. You know what I mean? If not, we'll take our bumps and bruises with a couple step backs, but we'll get to where we need to be and go beyond. And that's the whole part of the learning process.
Wow, dude, you've been a competitor. You a sprinter on the racetrack and track and field. You've been a competitor. Do you compete against yourself or everybody else on the racetrack?
People lie to you when they tell you that they're competing against themselves all the time. They're lying to you. You're always competing against your competitors. That's why we race. We're racing against the other teams. It's like a chess match. You got to know who you race, how they race, what they do, so you can step up or you know what to do to get the job done. So for me, what we're trying to do is we're always trying to raise our level up to where we get in front of the competition and they're trying to chase us. That's the game plan, so our main focus right now is to get to a level that they're like, dang, we got to catch up. We got to catch up. And then bring the A+ level game on race day. And then also bringing the A+ level game as an athlete, leaving the start line and keeping the car in the groove. And if you put all that together, that's when you're able to make some unbelievable histories and win 10 races a year, 8 races. Just think about this right now. You're lucky if you win 1 race a year now with the way the competition is, because you cannot guarantee who's going to race. I looked at all my guys. I told them at the beginning of this year, I said, you know what, guys, if we want to win this championship, we're going to have to at least win 6 races this year, and 3 of them are going to have to be in the countdown. That's the exact words I told you before this race season started.
And that's what happened.
And literally, when we got the first 2 races, done the first 2 races of countdown, I looked at my guys and said, we need one more. And I wanted to get one more before Pomona, trust me. I was like thinking, man, if we get this next race off here in Dallas, we qualified well. And then, we lost. I'm like, oh, my God, I lost to Justin Ashley. We actually qualified well. Justin qualified bad because he only had 1 round of qualifying. I raced in first round. I was like number 5 or number 4 qualifier. I was like, I think I was number 4, and he was number 13. I had a racing first round. And he took me out the same way I took him out in Pomona. You know what I mean? But if you get what I'm saying? So when you look at stuff that way, and then when it comes to fruition like that, you're like, wow. And to win 6 races right now, this has been a season for us like Tony Schumacher used to do back in the Alan Johnson days when they won 12 races. You get what I mean? Like 12 races out of 24. Well, back then, the competition is nowhere near like it is now. You had like 4 cars that ran good, and you had 2 of them ran really good. And then Alan Johnson in that U.S. Army car was on a whole nother plateau. Like he had like 800s on a number 2 qualifier. You follow me? And now our whole field is separated by 800s. That's the difference.
Whoa.
So to win a race, to win a couple races, to win 3 races, to win 4 races in this era right now, like this year in Top Fuel, that's animal style, brother. Like in and out. You know what I mean?
I've heard that you people text you and label you animal. I mean that's pretty wild that you bring an animal style into the mix. That's cool.
Yeah, man. Hey, this is what I do, man. But I eat mine with the bun, man. I don't eat it protein style. I gotta have everything, man. Everything. But it's just that's what makes this sport. I think pound for pound, that's why you're seeing all the eyeballs in the sport. And when we went to Pomona, you saw the crowd you saw because the literally like the action that was taking place, the storylines that were there. I mean, the whole side of the grandstand, which is from the starting line to the quarter-mile marker to the 1,000-foot mark at Pomona, it was filled, jam-packed with fans. Like, I mean, there was over 50,000 people there, brother. Like it looked like a Norwalk race. You get what I mean? It was like, I was like, this is the Pomona finals I remember. You know what I mean? And that's because the action that was taking place there, people were still really coming there for entertainment, and the way everything played out, even the delay at the racetrack, and then we had to come back up, and then me and Justin are first ones up there, us winning by a little bit. Then we go into the next deal. Me and Shawn smoked the tires and blah, blah, blah. Doug went down track, and then Brittany dropped ET. Gary Pritchett racing Steve Torrence first round. And I mean, all these different things, man. Like there were so many different stories to show and to tell, and new people racing and new people coming out. And man, I mean, I was a fan and I was intrigued. I got back in the pit. I'm looking at my NHRA Live on my phone, man. I'm like, what is going on in Pro Stock? What's going on? And what's happening? Like, Austin already got it, but what kind of ETs is Funny Car running right now? You know what I mean? Like I'm looking at Pro Stock Motors, like I'm like, oh snap! Oh, look at this! Look at Matt Smith. He is talking. Look at him. He's talking about parity, and he's got the fastest bike. I'm like, how you talking about parity? I'm like, I'm looking at all this stuff is just so funny. All the storylines that are going on because it goes back and forth. But what I like about it, like with the Pro Stock bike with them, is the passion. Everybody's always driving to win. Pro Stock car didn't know who was going to win out of 3 drivers. You go to Top Fuel, there were 6, 7 people that were still in contention that could win, and it came down where the championship wasn't decided until the semifinals. Like if I would have lost to Brittany, Doug would have had to win the race and beat Brittany in the final to win the championship. So it was mind-boggling. I mean, it had me on my seat, and I was a part of it.
And Antron, you balanced it all in your head. You were still, I go back to what I was saying before, able to compartmentalize it and still put your best A game out there. And you were referencing that in your last answer as well about how that's what you want. You want to be mentally tough up against the best competition. But for the future of your team, how do you teach that to Anson? Angel pretty much knows it, but how do you teach that to someone like your son, Anson?
Well, Anson, he's been around all the time, and he's been seeing what I go through. And for me, that's why we've been bracket racing and doing those big money bracket races, because those big money bracket races has high stakes. I want to see how he handles the pressure of these top tier racers across the country that do it professionally, bracket racing. And you get to those last 6 rounds and some of the first rounds, you're racing people that's won $1 million races. You're racing people that won $250,000. You got people racing for more money, honestly, than what we race for sometimes. You get what I mean? It's like it's like poker racing is what I call it. You know what I mean? And when I see that and saw how he handled it at the age he was, he walked up there. He was as cool. I didn't see him running to the bathroom throwing up. I didn't see him doing nothing different. And he went up there like a machine, just like letting it go, because I think the kids now, they just got a different mindset. They simply don't care. They don't care. They don't give 2 craps who you are, where you from. They just want to put you on a trailer and they let it fly. They go, if it goes red, who cares? Like, you know what I mean? Like us, we're like, if we go red, we lost. Anson don't care. He literally doesn't care. And I think that mindset with him coming into the sport, and when he gets to go into a fuel car and stops racing, he's going to be that sound, because he's won championships in junior dragsters since he was 10 years old. You get what I mean? Like, he was winning championships. He came down to a race at one time where he was like, I think it was like 3rd or 4th place in the points. And we missed a race that year. If we missed a race, he would have been a champ on the mat. Like, you know what I mean? And he was like 60 points away. It's 20 points around. And you get 8 rounds of racing for how many kids are racing. So it's a lot of points available per race. Well, the number 1 points guy went out first round. The second place point guy went out second round. Anson was 4th place. The 3rd place points guy went out 3rd round. Anson had to win 1 round. After that, the 4th round. And if he won the 5th round, he was the champion. He got in the 5th round, and I didn't tell him nothing. He didn't know where he was at in the points or nothing. He didn't even know he had a chance to win a championship. I said, and then all of his friends try to tell him. I took him away. I said, son, let's go up in the stands and watch some racing. Why want to stands there? We never go watch racing. We always work on the car and talk to people. I'm like, we ain't talking to nobody today. That's why I told him he didn't know what I was doing. I was taking him away so people couldn't start talking to him. So he starts getting the pressure on him. And then once he won that round, at the end of the track, there's people jumping up and down screaming. He's looking at him like, what happened? He goes, you just won a 10 to 12 championship this year. And it was a Big Daddy trophy for the Midwest series. So it's Big Daddy on top of the trophies. When he got it, he was like, what? I won? And I looked to him. I said, son, he goes, Dad, why didn't you tell me? I said, did you see how you raced today? He goes, yeah, I just race like I normally do. Well, that's the key. Son, is to have that mindset no matter what's on the line. You got to race what got you there. And he learned that at 10 years old, and that translated through his whole race career now.
Wow.
Well done, Dad. Well done.
Hey, he never listens to me besides that, trust me.
Well, you give him a trophy every day. You give him a trophy every night at dinner, maybe he'll listen to you more.
No. Well, this is the funniest story. This is like 20 seconds. I never forget him. I tried to teach him how to full tree race, where you follow the tree down. He goes, yellow, 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 green. I said, son, look at your peripheral. See the top bulb come on? Don't follow it down. Just focus on the 3rd bulb. And when you see that 3rd bulb light up, you hit it like it's pro tree. You're good to go. If you follow down, you're going to anticipate and go red. And if you hold yourself up, you're going to be too late and go and have a bad green light, right? He goes, Dad, I followed down. So he raced like this for like a whole year, and he's all over the place on full tree. And we index race, he kills it. And then a year later, Shawn Langdon, he calls Shawn Langdon Uncle Shawn. He loves Shawn, right? He follows him because he's a bracket racer, pro racer, everything, right? Shawn's his hero, right? Oh. So this is the funny part. Shawn literally told him, Anson, the same thing I told him. And he comes back to me and goes, Dad, guess what Shawn told me? I got it down. He goes, I've been doing it all this week, and I've been killing the full tree, Dad. I just look at the 3rd bulb. I see the other ones in my peripheral, but I focus on the 3rd. When I see it, I hit him, I go. And his mom, like, you know, my wife, Billy Joe, looked at me, and she goes, Antron, didn't you tell him that like a year ago? I said, it don't make a difference. Shawn spoke the gospel. He's got it now. No kid, bottom line story, no kid wants to listen to their dad or their mom. But if somebody else tells them, it's the gospel. So get a best friend and let them tell your kid what you really want to tell them. That's the moral of my story.
It is so true. So true.
Antron, how close are you close to having another Top Fuel car next to you with a driver, Angel Sampay?
Man, Kenny's been working on it hard, and she's getting primed and ready in that A Fuel car. So she signed up for another year in the A Fuel car. A big announcement about that will be coming out here soon. Mm-hmm. And we're working right now with those same partners to develop through next year where we can get her out into the Top Fuel ranks. And try to get her out to a few races next year. At least my goal is to try to get out to 4 races with her next year. That's the goal. But we just got to get the proper funding, and then we can grow and add from there where it could turn into maybe 8 races in the year after. Then maybe it could turn into a full season. The main thing is showing what we have, that she's capable, and she is. She's won a few races now in the A Fuel car and went some rounds. She finished 7th, and we didn't even race a full season this year. So with that being said, she compete with anybody. She's killing the tree. And she's a great spokesperson. Like, Angel's polished. You ain't got to do nothing with her. She's like a George Foreman grill. You set it and forget it. Just let it go. Mm-hmm. And you know what I mean? That's what we do. And if we could just keep that going and growing, I see the sport's going to have another, like, she's already a superstar. We're just going to reignite her in a different form, which is one of the top tier classes of the sport. So she's ready for it. It's just getting the partnership going and getting her some partners that make it happen.
Hey, Antron, I'm stoked that you've updated your website. You do have a 4-time champion on there now. You're a 4-time champion. These are some sexy dudes I'm looking at. Your crew, man. Some good-looking guys, you know?
I know. Look at Levi. Hey, go back to Levi real quick, man. Like, you see Levi up the top?
Levi?
This is my man right here. I said everybody in my award speech on the stage, and then for some reason, I missed Levi's name somehow. And it killed me, man. And he came on stage. I said, Levi, I cannot believe I forget you. I forgot your name because he's so quiet in the trailer. You don't even know he's there, but he's always there because he does so much. He's very thorough at what he does. He's a brilliant mind. And that's my man right there, man. Very emotional guy. He's one of the few guys on the team that'll hug you and kiss you.
All right.
And that's my homie right there, man. But I just want to let him know that's the only person I'm talking about right now on the show.
Well, I can promise you more people are seeing his face right now than they did at that damn banquet. Hey.
There you go. Levi!
Right. Levi!
Look at all these some good-looking dudes here, man. Then, oh, yeah. What in the hell is going on with my man?
I know, man. Look at him. Look at him. Oh, TY's in the house right there, man. TY, like right there. I always tell him, because it's not stand for Ted. It doesn't stand for Ted Yerzik. It stands for thank you.
Ted's the man.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. And we just have a good group of guys, man, and gals here. And everybody just works so hard, because what I've been very fortunate is that they treat AB Motorsports as their own. Because they're all partners in this. You know what I mean? AB Motorsports is not Antron Brown, never made it to be Antron Brown. And actually, you know, you always know my name. I always say brother all the time. Brother. Like, everybody's my brother. And what I always like to stand for, that's all brothers right there, that we're all family. And brought together with faith and putting God first. And he's got us this far. Because trust me, I am a professional race team, and I am telling you, it is not a lucrative business. Okay, I do it because I love it. Okay, you know what I mean. I don't have no Rolex watches. I don't have none of that stuff. I got wristbands that reminds me to keep me straight, like, you know, with my favorite scriptures on it. You know, it keeps me grounded. And then I got an Apple Watch. You know, the reason why I got an Apple Watch is so I can be on time and I can see my next interview I got to do. That's it.
There it is.
Like everything I got is like a method for the madness. You know what I mean? So that's what makes it so cool.
I don't know what else to say, man, other than congratulations. We're awfully proud of what you've done. And we realize what you had to do on Sunday to get this freaking championship. Those that don't follow the series like we do may not grasp it, but working your way up in the 12th seed, my friend, and kicking some ass on those other drivers is pretty remarkable, buddy.
Well, we appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it very, very, very much, man. And I always love being, this is like my home, man. But the Freak Nation, Speed Freaks, I remember going down the hallway of a high school into a studio where you first started, man. I think that's what it was. Because I remember I went through a gymnasium trying to find this studio. That was in California sometime. It was somewhere in California.
Where the hell was that?
I don't know where it was, man. You had some stuff all over the place, Kenny. I just remember I went in, I'm like, where am I at? I said, there's the gym. Then where are we going? Or where the heck is, I mean, it might not have been a gym. Maybe it was just an auditorium. I don't remember. But then I went through there, went down the hallway, and then boom, there y'all were in the back, you know, mixing the Kool-Aid, getting ready for the radio show.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And those were in your motorcycle days.
Yes, it was. I was fresh. Y'all were fresh. Like we all started at the same time.
Yep.
We were like spring chickens back there. But Kenny, your hair wasn't white. It used to be blonde.
Come on, man.
Bleach blonde. It was bleach blonde back then, and now that sucker's just like white. hey, look. I used to have hair, so don't feel bad, okay? I used to have hair. Now I'm like Stat Man. I'm mini Stat. That's what I am.
Are we going to get through an interview without saying black don't crack?
Huh? I never said black don't crack, man. Let me tell you something. Like I like to refer to ourselves. Me and Stat like to say this to people, man. I said, we're chocolate, baby. We're chocolate. We're every woman's dream on Valentine's Day, baby. Oh. Think about it. Class, is this true or what? When's the last time you opened a chocolate bar that didn't look good?
Oh, that's very true. Yep. Smooth and delicious.
Can you see that, man? You see that? See?
So
I'm not denying it either. I kind of like chocolate too.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. It could be that way. I'm not mad at you. It's all good. Right. It's all good.
It goes from a box of chocolates to black ice.
That's right, good. Baby. That's right. I go from sweet and smooth to dangerous.
Hey. Brother, much love, man. Much love here in the Freak Nation. It's awesomeness. Looking forward to 2025 as the defending owner in the Top Fuel class, buddy.
Oh, man, I appreciate that very much. And thank y'all so much for having me on. I love y'all. And y'all have a very, very great Thanksgiving to everybody out there in the Freak Nation. We love you. And always be thankful. Thank you.
Yes, we are.
Back at you. Yes, enjoy.
Animal style Thanksgiving. There you go.
Animal style.
All right, brother.
All right.
Thank you.
Anytime.
You take car maintenance seriously, and you want to pass on that legacy of care. Use Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer to shield your engine from excessive heat, debris, and friction. Trust Lucas Oil. It works.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
For whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Rev up your passion for speed. MAVTV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans.
Oh, man!
MAVTV Go, your global home of motorsports. Now on the go. Download the app now.
3 years of sellout crowds. 3 years of edge-of-your-seat action. 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR. And now, NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship playoffs are coming. Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Go to WWTRaceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.